What's this? Playing dice at a monastery? Now what would the Lord think?
We're not playing dice. This is a spiritual disputation. We're discussing sacred numbers.
Lord, let this man have a short memory and forget what he's seen here.
I can just see the abbot blessing this disputation, and God threw 3 wands and saw that it was good.
The abbot only blessed fasting and above all silence. He fears illness just from anyone coughing in the choir.
Please, brother, the abbot doesn't know about this, and he doesn't have to, does he?
Besides, judging by the looks of you, brother, you seem like you're a playful soul yourself. What do you say? One more round before we, repent?
Nah, I'll face penance either way, so it might as well be worth it. What's at stake?
Nothing less than a consecrated die.
This one? It doesn't even look square, let alone consecrated.
Not this one. A different one. The real one. The blessed die that lands on 6, even if you kicked it into hell and the devil swallowed it and pooped it out.
It's now or never, so let's make it now. Ha! I win. So, where's this famous blessed die of yours?
Where is it? Now that's a good question. They say it lies where the sun doesn't shine, but grapes ripen nonetheless, where the wood is firm but hollow. The 4th one on the left.
So, I have to find it myself? What kind of prize is that?
A great one. In the spiritual sense, that is.
In the spiritual sense, you can kiss my arse. Besides, why didn't you pull it out yourselves?
You see, we would have gone and picked it up, if only it wasn't possibly, maybe a little bit, cursed.
It's what?
Not for sure, though. Just possibly. Theoretically.
That's just a harmless rumor. An old monastery myth.
One that says it brings luck to the good-hearted and to the foolish. A lifetime of phlegm and 5 years of embarrassing accidents.
So, nothing too serious.
Well, thanks a lot. I found another infected.
You're not the only one. While you were gone, they brought in several more. So, where's your sick man?
With the Lord now. I found him too late.
Lord have mercy. Do you at least know who it was?
One of the monks. His name was Ernest.
That's the 2nd death today. Let's hope it's the last. The confessor's dead. Old Stephen.
Don't blame yourself. I'm sure you did everything you could to help him.
We tried, but sometimes there's just nothing we can do. At least we know he's no longer suffering. And what about you? Did you find out anything about the others who are sick? Do they have anything in common?
I found out that Ernest, Yaroslav and Blazhena were meeting regularly. There's a secret copying workshop in the cellar.
A secret? But why? And what in God's name was she doing there?
Well, it's a long story, but I know for sure they were meeting down there. Those 3 from the infirmary, and the overseer I found dead.
Very well. I believe you. That explains why those 3 got infected. Do you think it happened in their workshop? Did you notice dampness, mold, any strange smell or bad air?
Nothing like that. It was damp, but the air was otherwise clean.
In that case, someone must have brought the illness to them.
But who?
Probably Ernest. If he died first, it would make sense.
Or maybe the illness just killed him faster because he was older. Like the confessor.
That's possible too.
I found some jewellery in Stephen's cell. It looked quite old.
Jewellery? Where would he have got that from?
He might have stolen it. But given how strict he was about the seal of confession, it doesn't seem likely. Maybe someone else stole it. But guilt caught up with him, and he gave it to Stephen during confession.
Maybe. But surely we'd have heard about such a theft by now. Unless...
They stole it from someone who can't tell anyone anymore. Do you think we've got a murderer here?
I've no idea. It's all just guesswork.
So, what are we going to do now?
We'll go to the abbot. You, Zacharias, and I. This is getting out of hand, and the number of sick keeps rising.
To the abbot? Right now?
You think waiting will solve anything?
You've all come. That can't mean anything good.
The truth is, more are falling ill and the infirmary's filling up fast.
We're trying to give them all they need. But soon there'll be no beds and they'll have to lie on the floor.
How many have died?
The old confessor, Brother Stephen.
And Brother Ernest, too.
Ernest?
He died in his cell. No one even knew he'd fallen ill.
So, it started then.
Ernest wasn't treated. Even mild illness can be deadly without care.
And Stephen's age didn't help either.
When the Black Death last swept the town, it also started slowly. The old, the sick, and those no one missed were the first to die. And then we couldn't even bury the dead in time, let alone give them the last rites. Now, the Lord is punishing us for it.
We do have some good news. With Henry's help, we might soon uncover where the infection's coming from.
We know that Brother Yaroslav and that maid both met with Ernest, so the illness must have spread between them.
They all met? Even the maid? Why?
Well, I didn't mean they were all together at the same time. Just that both Yaroslav and Blazhena had encounters with Ernest.
Why would a maid be meeting with Ernest? That makes no sense.
Ernest never left the monastery grounds.
He did, in fact, fairly often. He was one of the few allowed out for work reasons.
Then they must have run into each other by chance, somewhere outside.
Very well, then.
Just breathing the same foul air as someone infected for a while puts you at risk.
And since I found Ernest already dead, we believe he's the one who brought the sickness among the others. If he was the first to die, then he must have been the first to catch it, right?
But where did he catch it?
I don't know yet, Father. But I have certain suspicions. I found building plans in his cell. Looked like a floor plan of the church.
That means nothing. Ernest oversaw all construction work in the monastery.
And what had he been working on lately?
He'd been supervising repairs in the church. A floor had collapsed above the crypt recently. He was assigning tasks to laborers and overseeing the work.
Which crypt do you mean?
Some important nobles are buried there. But most of all, it's the tomb of my predecessors. May their souls rest in peace.
That might be the source of the foul air. The illness could have spread from the exposed crypt.
I ought to go into the church and inspect everything thoroughly. Especially that crypt.
That's not a good idea. If the illness is really spreading from there, no one should go in.
I understand your concern, Zacharias. But Henry is right. At this point, it's just a supposition, and we must put it to the test.
Enough. What nonsense is this? No one's going into that crypt. The disease is spreading. The infirmary is full. We've already got 2 dead.
Father, I understand you're afraid, but...
Afraid? I'm not afraid. I bear responsibility for the whole monastery, for every living soul. And it's my God-given duty to do everything I can to protect them from the plague.
Father, wait. Just give us a day. 2 at most. I'll just find out where the sickness came from.
You won't get another hour. The monastery is to be sealed. No one goes in, no one comes out. All the monks are to withdraw to their cells.
What about us? You want to keep us here against our will?
I don't want to, but I must. And at the same time, I humbly ask for your help. Believe me, you'll be repaid when the time is right. You came to me with a certain request. Help me, you may consider it granted.
It's for the best, Albec. Even if it turns out not to be the plague, It's still a deadly illness, and we're within sight of the town. If it spreads to Kuttenberg, it'd be a disaster.
I know. But as you wish. I'm sorry, Henry, but I'm afraid we have no choice.
Tibi Domine, fratrum nostrum, militer commendamus, ut quem in hac vita mortali, immenso semperes prosecutos amore, nunc malis omnibus liberatum, in requiem in gredi iubias sempiternam. Tuam ergo clementium deprecamur, ut quia prima iam transierunt, illum in paradisum tum begnine perducas, ubi neque luctus, neque clamor, neque dolor erit ultra. Sed pax et gaudium, Filio tuo et Spiritus Sancto in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
What now?
This whole situation keeps getting worse. How am I meant to treat a disease I know almost nothing about? This can't end well.
Then what do you suggest? The abbot's forbidden us from going anywhere outside the infirmary.
Not only that, he's had the monastery gates shut. No one's allowed in.
Or out. Ludolf's men are even patrolling the grounds. We're literally imprisoned.
Still, something must be done. The beds are nearly full, and there's not endless space on the floor either.
Henry, I know I've no right to ask this of you.
Speak plainly. What do you need?
Straight to the point. You remind me of myself. I always used to urge Albic too, remember?
How could I forget? You young ones are always rushing about. But to the point. Search the church crypt. If there's a plague grave down there, uncovered by that collapse, then at least we'll know for sure.
But surely no one would have buried plague victims there. That's where the abbot's tombs are.
I'm not looking to confirm it. On the contrary, I want to rule it out. I still don't believe we're dealing with plague. I'll stay here and tend to the sick.
Let me assist you, friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's enough work here for the both of us. Henry, try speaking with the workers repairing the collapsed floor. In the best case, they might have noticed something. In the worst case, they'll already be showing symptoms of the disease.
And how do I get there? I'm not even supposed to poke my nose outside. The knights are patrolling the grounds.
If they catch him wandering somewhere he shouldn't be, they'll have him thrown out.
And the abbot will find out we're investigating the source of the outbreak despite his explicit orders. But this is about lives. Henry, I believe you can do it. But still, be careful.
I'll do what must be done. Just make sure you look after the sick.
Hold on. In Italy, physicians wear a kind of hood with a mask. It protects them from foul air and perhaps even the plague.
True. I've heard the same in Padua.
Sounds good. But where am I meant to get one around here?
With a bit of skill, you can make it yourself. All you need for the hood is a piece of leather. You'll need to hang fragrant herbs around the collar. Something like mint or sage.
Might as well perfume myself all over.
You jest. But yes. The less foul air you breathe in, the better.
You can use the workbench in the alchemical workshop to make it.
All right. I'll be off then.
Best of luck. And God be with you.
And with you. Is there anything I can help you with around here?
Leave the treatment to us. But Dinesh did mention he's been having trouble with Salarius.
What's it about?
About food supplies. Even before the monastery was closed, old Julian was a miser. But now we have to haggle over every morsel.
You really think I can do something about it?
Couldn't hurt to try. Go and speak to Dinesh. He'll explain what's what.
I heard you've been having some trouble getting supplies for the infirmary.
That's right. Old Julian seems to think the sick can live on decoctions and ointments. We get nothing but scraps.
Well, if they want to let them starve, I don't know why they need two famed physicians for it.
My thoughts exactly. I've told him 100 times, but he just keeps saying he's praying for them. As if that would help.
Wouldn't it make sense to take it to the abbot? Surely the Salarius would listen to him.
I've already suggested that to Master Zacharias, but the abbot hardly sees anyone, and certainly not folk from the infirmary.
Is he afraid of the plague?
Either that, or he's ashamed.
Well, maybe I could try speaking to the Salarius myself and see if I can, persuade him.
I won't stop you, but I've tried everything I could think of. What's your plan?
Try to persuade him. He's bound to respond to something.
That old man only hears what he wants. But good luck.
I hear you and Dinesh are having a bit of a dispute over food supplies for the infirmary.
A dispute? Is that what he told you?
Well, not in those words exactly.
I really would like to help, but you must understand that I can't. No one knows how long the monastery will stay closed. The whole convent has to live off the supplies, and if we are to endure, we all have to tighten our belts.
And what about the abbot? Will he tighten his belt too, or is he exempt?
Don't insult his grace in my presence. Father Jan fasts regularly and sets an example for us all.
Since you brought up the supplies, how much is actually left? Are we talking days, weeks, months?
Months. Not even in my most hopeful dreams. With small portions, fasting, and assuming we don't get a hailstorm that destroys what's yet to be harvested, we'll last 2 weeks. 3 if we're lucky.
Then Albic had better get a move on. All right then. Let everyone eat a little less. But the sick must come first. Without proper food, they'll be too weak, and even the best medicine won't help them.
Medicine isn't everything. Fervent prayer has cured many a foul affliction.
Look, I know it's difficult for you, but we can't just let the poor infirm suffer in hunger. If you help me, I'll be glad to repay the favor. Is there anything I could do for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, magpies have built a nest in the tree in the monastery garden. They perch on rooftops, screech like mad, and I can't get any sleep. And they're so brazen. One of them stole my spectacles yesterday. I can't read without them.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. But make it quick.
How else can you save on food?
Other than shrinking portions and thinning out the gruel and broth with water, I can't think of much. When the Black Death ravaged the land, Solarius Vendelin ran the kitchen. They say that even though he had limited supplies, he...
What, perform miracles?
Don't blaspheme! But it's true that he kept most of the brethren alive, even with famine looming.
Where could I learn more about this Vendelin?
There might be a small manuscript in the library. He wrote it himself once, long ago.
Forgive the intrusion, Brother Librarian.
An apology will not spare us this dreadful illness, but obeying the abbot's orders might. Haven't you heard them? I moved in here so I could continue my work and keep the mandated solitude. So leave me in its safe embrace and go away.
I understand, but I've come on an urgent matter.
And I'm urgently asking you to leave me be. I don't want to catch the illness and stand before the Lord. Not yet.
I understand your fear, but I'm Master Albic's assistant, as you surely know.
Then why aren't you at his side, tending to the poor souls already afflicted?
I've done all I could. And I assure you, your brothers and the others are being looked after as well as possible. We fear the illness just as you do. But a man of medicine cannot simply hide from it.
Yes, of course. Naturally, but I'm no man of medicine, so what do you want from me?
A little trust, brother. It's a lot to ask, I know, but believe me, I would never knowingly put you or anyone else in danger. I swear it.
Very well, then. At least you sound like you know how much you're asking.
May I ask you a favor, then?
But please, keep it brief.
Brother Librarian, I need your help.
What is it?
I found a recipe for an aromatic oil. Do you know where I could get the ingredients for it?
Oils are usually made of herbs. I reckon you should find everything you need for the most common recipes in Joachim's garden.
I've got your spectacles.
Show me. Are they all right?
Don't worry, they're fine.
Praise the Lord. Without them, I'd be like a mole.
And what about our deal? As they say, quid pro quo.
Don't come at me with Latin, lad. If you have the nerve to ask, just say what you want.
You said you consider giving the infirmary a larger food share.
Did I say that?
Aye. In return for bringing back your spectacles from the magpie nest I had to knock down.
So, are my spectacles the only thing you found in the nest?
There was more in there. Why?
I realized I'm missing some other things, too. Those thieving pests are smarter than I thought. Go on, then. Hand over the rest.
All right, then.
Hey, what the?
You're the one who locked me in there.
How did you get out?
Why the fuck did you do that? Wait, you're the foreman, aren't you?
Shut up. You found Bavo, didn't you? Hand it over.
What the hell are you on about? What do you want from me?
You know what I'm on about, Kavar. And I know he's here somewhere. Boslav Bavo.
Calm down and drop the weapon, or I'll report you to the abbot.
And how would you do that? You're not getting out of here alive. I'll rip it out of your cold dead hands when I'm done with you. It'll look like an accident. You weren't supposed to be here. We tried to stop you. But it's high, and you broke your neck.
You've completely lost it.
That doesn't matter anymore. Or anything else. Die!
I got more food for the infirmary.
Should I ask how you managed it?
Let's just say I found a source of food no one here is making use of.
Don't tell me you scraped it off the dung heap.
Don't worry. They're as fresh as can be. Prime crayfish. Straight from the pond.
You caught crayfish? Here?
Is that worse than starving?
Not at all. Let's have it then. My word. Where'd you get all that? Is there anything left for the rest of the monastery?
Does it matter?
True enough. This place needs it most anyway.
I found this book in the scriptorium. Something tells me you might find it useful.
What book? Let me see.
It was written by the former Salarius, Vendelin. He saved the monastery from famine by cooking the local crayfish.
When you don't have salmon, throw in a crayfish. Makes sense to me.
That's just what Vendelin wrote. A well-prepared crayfish tastes better than most fish.
I suppose it's better than starving to death. Anyway, thanks.
Christ, Albic! What happened? Are you alright?
I am, yes. But it looks like we've been robbed.
Why? And who did it, for Christ's sake?
Gentlemen, please, keep it down. You're disturbing the patients. For God's sake, what happened here? What a mess.
What do you think? Someone was clearly looking for something.
But there's nothing of value here.
Well, actually...
Albic! You brought them here? What were you thinking?
And was I supposed to leave them unsupervised?
And? Were they stolen?
Thank the Lord, no. I still had them on me.
Can someone tell me what exactly was nearly stolen?
As you know, Henry, I spent a good part of my life at King Wenceslas's court, tending to his health. Thanks to that, I learned much about his private life, what ailed him, how and when he got injured, and what treatments I used. I recorded all my findings and methods, partly in case anyone cast doubts on them, and partly for others to copy, if necessary. If these detailed records were to fall into the wrong hands, I dare not imagine the consequences.
Plenty of folk would pay handsomely for them.
Or tried to steal them for that very reason. But who could have got in and made such a mess?
I was busy tending the sick. I noticed nothing.
Nor did I, I'm afraid. There's work here for 3 more physicians.
That actually made it quite easy for the culprit.
But we still don't know who to suspect.
Surely you realize the abbot himself might be interested in those records.
Father Jan? Nonsense. We've known each other for years.
Not quite well enough. When he heard you were coming, he was pressing me to persuade you to let him read them.
But that's out of the question. Absolutely not.
That's exactly what I told him. The look on his face. If looks could kill, I'd be dead.
How did he even hear about them?
Their existence is no secret. Even King Sigismund mentioned them to me once or twice. And if he ever said anything in front of the abbot...
And the thief waited until the monastery was closed?
So, Albic isn't leaving. Even if he wanted to.
Let's not jump to conclusions. And don't start pointing fingers. Henry, go and ask Brother Benedict and Dinesh in the infirmary if they noticed anything. Maybe we'll get lucky.
All right, then. I'll return to my patients and pretend nothing's amiss. No need to alarm them over this.
Right. Agreed.
Henry, how are you feeling? You don't look too good.
I feel awful.
Did you go into the crypt without a plague mask?
I did. Do you think I got infected too?
It's certainly possible.
What now? I can't just go and lie down. We have too much work to do.
I know. Try this potion. It should ease the symptoms for a while.
Thank you, Albie. Will this potion cure me?
I'm afraid not. But it eases the symptoms and strengthens the body. That's why you have to use it regularly.
And what if it gets worse?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Henry. We're not even certain you're actually sick.
And what if I am?
Then all you can do is pray we get this sickness under control before you end up in the infirmary yourself.
Would you please teach me the recipe?
Naturally. Fill a cauldron with wine. Then throw in 2 handfuls of freshly ground St. John's wort and boil for 1 turn. Then throw in 2 handfuls of chamomile and boil for 2 more turns. Finally, add a handful of ground ginger and boil for 1 more turn. Then, distill.
All right, I'll try.
I'm happy to hear it.
Did you see anyone go in or out of our room?
I'm not sure. I think I saw a monk go in. I couldn't say who.
A monk? You mean Benedict?
No, it wasn't him. But hard to say. Damn it, why do they all look the same in here?
Yeah, it's not exactly helpful, I know. Any idea when that was?
Roughly an hour ago. Maybe 2. Has something happened?
Damn it. Never mind. Better if you ask Zacharias.
God be with you. What do you need?
Did you notice anything suspicious this past hour?
One of the sick men has been throwing up constantly, and I suspect another one's faking it to skip work.
No, I need to know if anyone's been nosing around our room.
I spent most of my time with the vomiting one, or out in the yard scrubbing his bedding. I didn't see anyone.
I understand. Even so, thanks for your help.
Oh, it's nothing.
I spoke with Benedict and Dennis. Neither noticed a thing.
I thought as much. We've all had our hands full here. So, we still know nothing.
I might have something, but I'm not sure yet how it ties to those records.
What do you mean?
I went down to the crypt, and I found open tombs and rotting corpses.
Good God!
No sign of a mass grave, though. Just individual tombs.
That's both good and bad news. At least we can now rule out the plague. But if the workers caught something from the air around those tombs, then anyone else could catch it too. Why did they even open them?
They were probably looking for something inside. I found this sketch.
That looks like the emblem of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. But why would they look for it among deceased abbots? Even putting aside that it's sacrilege, I don't see the connection.
Nor do I. But there must be one, because they locked me in the crypt over it.
What?
He was the workers' foreman. He kept going on about some Bavor. He must have thought I'd found whatever they were after. I tried explaining I hadn't the faintest idea what he meant, but he went completely mad. In the end, he came at me.
And?
Well, I had to defend myself. God rest his soul.
I'm at my wit's end. Under normal circumstances, I'd report it, but maybe we'd better keep all this to ourselves. For now, at least. That Bavor fellow, the name means nothing to me, but I'd suggest mentioning it to Librarian Crispin. With luck, he'll find something in the archives that sheds some light on how it all connects to those open tombs. But best do it tomorrow. This evening's been more than enough. One adventure a day is plenty.
Agreed. Let's clear up the room, then sleep.
We'll be wiser come morning.
Yapping beast. Kick its ass.
You stop that, for Christ!
Mother of God.
For fuck's sake.
Good morning, everyone. I trust you've had a decent sleep. The sick are waiting, and being tired doesn't excuse us from our duties.
All right, give me a moment. Then we'll go and check on the patients. And where's Benedict, anyway?
If I may, gentlemen. Haven't you heard? There was a fire here last night.
A fire? Here at the monastery?
The small shed by the mill house burned down, but it was probably just an unfortunate accident. Thank the Lord it's all over now.
And no one was hurt?
Well, that's the thing. No one burned, but there were 2 men in the shed. Or rather, 2 bodies.
Bodies? Whose were they, for God's sake?
That... I don't know, sir.
And how do you know they didn't die in the flames? Just because they weren't burnt to cinders doesn't prove anything.
I didn't see them, but they said there were no burns, and it didn't look like they'd suffocated either.
So, how did they end up there? What killed them? Didn't anyone tell you about them?
They were sent to be washed, but the washers noticed, signs.
Who found them? And how did he get them out?
Elijah, one of the lay brothers. He ran into the flames thinking he could save them, but they were already dead.
And what was he doing outside in the middle of the night? You don't suppose he had something to do with it?
He's never been any trouble. There's no reason to suspect him.
How do you know about these signs? Did someone examine them?
No, they were only to be washed, but when the signs of illness were spotted, the abbot ordered them locked away in the hops store. Ludolf promised he'd send one of his men to guard the door. No one is to go near them.
That was highly irresponsible. Someone needs to examine them thoroughly. We can't afford uncertainty.
You want to bring them to the infirmary with the others? No. No, let them stay locked away somewhere separate.
Are you afraid the other sick might get even worse? At least we could have them all in one place.
Was anyone else there besides Elijah?
No, or at least no one I know of. I'll leave you to it now. If you need me, I'll be with the sick.
I'm going too. Disease? Fire? What next? A swarm of locusts?
First they ransacked my room, now this. I don't like it one bit.
Do you think the fire's got anything to do with what they were after in your chambers?
Who knows? I feel like someone wants us gone, and they're trying to frighten us into leaving.
All the more reason to get to the bottom of this.
But I can hardly go poking around myself to find out what really happened.
Don't worry. That's what I'm here for.
Well, maybe Zacharias was right after all. You never know when an aid like that might come in handy. So, what's your plan?
Quite a few things, actually. I'll take a look around the burned-down shed. There might still be some clues.
Good idea. It might have just been an accident, but it won't hurt to make sure.
I should probably speak with the lay brother who pulled the bodies out of the flames.
Elijah, right? But be gentle. No one should have to go through what he did last night.
What about the corpses? You said you wanted to examine them.
And that's what I'll do. We can't afford doubts when there's a deadly illness spreading.
But Benedict said the abbot forbade it, and that one of the knights is watching over them.
If he's got any sense at all, he'll understand this is serious. A proper diagnosis is key to the next step.
Someone searched our room just a while ago. And who knows what they'd do if they caught you wandering around alone. I won't have that on my conscience. Better you stay here, and I'll sort it somehow.
So what you're saying is, use an unorthodox approach.
I could always bribe the guard. A few groschen might get me in to see the dead.
If you want to waste coin on foul bribery.
Well, you said yourself we need to be absolutely certain. Are we really going to argue about what that's worth?
You're right. Ethics aside, this is no time for gallantry. When you do get to those bodies, take your time and make sure you do a thorough examination. Don't be squeamish.
So, what exactly should I be looking for?
Anything unusual. You know well the symptoms the sick here have, but a keen eye may spot other signs too. If you're not sure, just try to remember what you saw. If you describe it to me later, I should be able to identify it.
I can't think of anything else.
Nor can I. Well then, best of luck.
Forgive the intrusion, Brother Librarian.
An apology will not spare us this dreadful illness, but obeying the abbot's orders might. Haven't you heard them? I moved in here so I could continue my work and keep the mandated solitude. So leave me in its safe embrace and go away.
I understand, but I've come on an urgent matter.
And I'm urgently asking you to leave me be. I don't want to catch the illness and stand before the Lord. Not yet.
Brother Librarian, I understand your fear, but remember our Lord Christ. Did he fear the lepers? And what did he say to the Samaritan who returned from the church to thank him?
Your faith has healed you.
You see? There's no need to fear the dreadful illness if your soul is pure.
So you believe this illness is a test for us?
Well, yes, I think it might be. But I'm only guessing. I wouldn't dare pass judgment on the Lord's intention.
Ah, you've spoken wisely and humbly. I can never compare to our Lord Christ, but in your words I find comfort and a spark of hope.
May I ask you a favor, then?
But please, keep it brief.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here, and I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across a rather peculiar name. Boleslav Bavor. Does that ring a bell? Are there any records on him, perhaps?
Boleslav Bavor? I know that name. Long ago, just after taking my vows, I briefly looked into his legacy. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some labourers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves, and they were looking for Bavor, or something connected to him.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What sort of relic are we talking about?
I don't know exactly, but certainly something very rare. I believe it's linked to Jesus Christ himself, but I can't tell you for sure right now. It's been many years, and even back then I never found anything substantial apart from Bavor's records of his travels. In the end I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
Oh, that's a shame. It was just starting to get interesting. Still, I'd very much like to have a look at the travel records, just in case.
I'll be glad to show them to you, to examine, but first we must report those vile thieves to the abbot.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too.
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
How is that even possible? A grave can't just disappear.
Quite frankly, I don't know. And I didn't know then either. Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter, and it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree, something about it doesn't sit right.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction, He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Why didn't you stand your ground?
I couldn't argue with the abbot. What he said went. And I was just a lowly monk, barely past my vows. I had to obey. In time, I learned to let some things lie. Those who dig too deep may uncover what they'd rather not.
I'm not blaming you, but I think it's time we reopened that old inquiry of yours and saw it through. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it's surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck. I'll return to the crypt and see if the workers left any trace.
I might have missed something myself back then. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
Are you with me? I've got something to perk you up a bit.
What is it? Schnapps?
No, we're out of schnapps. So stop whining and drink.
Oh, bloody awful stuff.
So, feeling any better?
Better? I wish. Oh, it's all coming back to me.
That's good. I need to know what happened during the night.
I don't want to talk about it. Don't make me.
I get it. You don't want to remember. I've seen some nasty things too. But sometimes it helps to talk to someone. It's definitely better than drowning your wits in schnapps.
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink? You seem smart enough not to keep your booze where someone might find it. I bet you've got a nice little stash, eh?
All right. Maybe I did head off to the back pond for a nightcap. I heard a dog barking like mad, so I went to see what was going on. I should have just kept out of it.
Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. Just the dog was there.
When you dragged out those two bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I need to ask about the dead, too. Did you notice anything odd about them?
I couldn't see much. It was as dark as a sinner's soul. But they were soaked to the bone. And also, how to say it? Filthy. Both of them.
Filthy from what?
From shit.
Right. That can happen after death.
No, I mean they were completely covered in it. Like someone had dunked them in it. Oh.
Are you sure they were already dead when you pulled them out?
Aye.
And may I ask how you knew?
When I carried them out, I thought I'd roast alive in seconds. But they were cold as ice. And one of them was already stiff as a board. When I laid him down, he just crunched. Oh.
Do you have any idea who those two were?
I've no idea. It was dark. I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I've no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud. Alright?
Right, thanks. Hey, look, I haven't told anyone, but I found this key during the night. I've no idea whose it is, but maybe you'll find it useful.
Thanks. Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared, and I found a walled-off secret chamber.
What? I'd never heard of such a thing. Even Abbot Vitus never said a word about it.
Maybe he kept it from you on purpose.
Where are you going with this? Why would he do that?
Just thinking aloud, really. But at least it explains why you couldn't find Bavor's sarcophagus all those years ago.
Well, at least now I don't feel quite so foolish. But if there was a sarcophagus, was there also, you know?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good Lord, that's truly strange.
I swear it's true. But now I haven't the faintest idea what to do next. I was kind of hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
What do you mean, not buried here? Everything points to it.
Until we find the body, we can't be certain. The travel records, the accounts, all point to the intent, but not its fulfillment.
There was his coat of arms on the bottom of the sarcophagus.
Yes, which would support my second theory that his remains were moved.
But why would anyone move him? Isn't that against God's will or something?
There are reasons for it. They're internal matters of the monastery. I shouldn't be discussing them with a layman.
Oh, come on, Crispin. We're searching for Bavor together. Surely you could make an exception. Just forget for a moment I'm not a monk like you, and tell me what you know. Please.
Oh, very well. Since you're so insistent, to be laid to rest in the monastery crypt near the altar is the best one can hope for the soul of the departed. Normally such places are reserved for abbots, but this privilege can be granted to others in rare cases.
That would explain why Bavor might be buried there, but not why he isn't.
I'm getting to that. A place of such honor may be given for great deeds, or a truly generous donation. But if the person has been dead for a long time, and has no surviving kin to speak for him, then it's possible the body may be moved, to make way for a deceased abbot, or a potential new benefactor.
I see. And I understand that's not an easy thing for you to speak about.
Thank you. Still, the deceased isn't simply tossed aside. He's respectfully moved to another resting place, just not as prestigious.
Right. But that brings us back to the question. So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
Hang on. That consecrated field is enormous. I'll be searching for weeks, and I can't even get in there now. Better to scout the infirmary church first.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you managed to find Bavor at last.
I saw that mural of Bavor you spoke of, and I think I noticed something slightly unusual.
Ah? Really? What was it?
That Bavor crest. In the mural, it's shown differently from your sketch. Seems to be the elevated version, as mentioned in the travel records, with the escutcheon. And on it is the Jerusalem cross. There's also an angel. And Bavor had himself depicted holding the relic. It looked to me like Bavor had the layout made very deliberately.
I must have missed that. Or perhaps I've simply forgotten. But you're right, it does sound rather deliberate.
Indeed. But I still don't know what to make of it.
Bavor clearly put a great deal of thought into his burial. That depiction isn't just a coincidence or some artist's fancy. It was Bavor's intention, and there's certainly a hidden meaning in it.
I'll ponder it on my way to the infirmary graveyard. Let's hope its lord lies somewhere nearby. Oh, my back! And the armour, the crest, the sword. It has to be him. The valiant knight Boleslav Bavor. May his soul rest in peace. Only no sign of the relic. But then again, the mural showed that escutcheon in his crest. Let's see if I understood it right. By all the saints. Praise be to thee, Almighty Lord, and praise be to thee, merciful Christ, who suffered on the cross for us. Thank you for remembering us sinners in this time of trial, and for letting me find this treasure.
Nice choice of last words, and I'll be taking that treasure.
Who sent you?
That's no longer your concern. Get him!
Henry, what in God's name is going on here?
They attacked me. I was only defending myself.
I believe you, Henry. But you need to give a full account to the abbot. The brothers will escort you to him. I'll look around a bit more and join you soon. I also want to hear what you've got to say. I hate to interrupt your grace, but something's happened that urgently requires your attention.
Did you bring more news from Masters Albic and Zacharias? How fare our sick?
No, my lord. I've brought Henry here because we apprehended him in the infirmary graveyard. There was a fight. 3 men were killed, and the grave of the bearer of the arrow crest was looted.
Boleslav Bavor? I was just telling his grace about him. The relic, was it there?
Yes. Bavor had it placed in the compartment in the sarcophagus lid. A fragment of Christ's cross. Just as Bavor's travel records said.
Incredible! The Lord is with us in this dark hour.
Such a treasure hidden away and waiting to be revealed in a time of need. Praised be Jesus Christ.
Now and forever. And praised be the Virgin Mary, our protector.
But now, back to what Ludolf said. Did 3 people truly lose their lives?
They attacked me. I only defended myself.
But who were they? Where did they come from?
I got on the trail of the relic when I caught workers searching the monastery crypt. But those bandits... They clearly had my trail, too, since they came right for me. I reckon it's all connected, somehow.
I never told anyone. Not until just now, to his grace. And we were alone.
Ludolf, how is it that armed men managed to breach my monastery?
Please accept my apology. Your Grace, the grounds are vast and complex, and with our numbers we simply can't guard it all. I take full responsibility and will do everything in our power to ensure this doesn't happen again.
Thank you. I'm counting on you. First, the collapse in the church. Then, a foul sickness. A fire. More deaths. And now, armed raiders. It's becoming too much for our already dwindling order. Why is the Lord punishing us?
Punishing or testing? That relic, it's a sign, a promise of hope.
Perhaps, Crispin. Let's hope we interpret the Lord's intentions correctly. Henry, on my behalf and on that of our brotherhood, I thank you for recovering such a treasure for us. Let the disturbance of Sir Baver's grave be forgiven, for you were guided by divine providence.
Thank you, Your Grace. I was glad to do it.
Ludolf, escort Henry to the infirmary. I'll keep the relic here and remain in prayer and contemplation.
As you command.